within the president's authority to do that?
So look, we remained under a court order to lift Title 42. That is a court order. That is a court order that is telling us to lift Title 42, and we're going to comply because we follow the rule of law.
But the administration sought to lift
it. But it is a court order.
But
that
started by you guys.
It was a court order that has been.
El Paso's Democratic mayor has declared a state of emergency, and he said that he would only do that when he felt he could no longer keep his community or the asylum seekers safe. He's saying that that time is now ahead of Title 42 expiring. What is the White House response to that?
So look, we have, from day one, President Biden has taken steps to reduce disorderly migration while expanding legal pathways for orderly migration. We are in constant communication with the mayor of El Paso. And look, I've talked about the Venezuelan enforcement initiative that's helped drop the migration, which is, as you know, an initiative, a drastic 90% drop. And we're going to continue to do that work. Look, we're surging resources to the border. We're going to continue to do the work that is needed. We saw from the graphs what that looked like, what the resources were. We're going to ask for the additional funding, the $3.5 billion additional funding requests from Congress, and we want to make sure that we're really truly addressing this challenge. Again, the 23,000 agents that we're currently seeing at the border, that is because of the work that this president has done, and these are, this is a historic number of agents that we see at the border. Again, we're going to continue to ask for additional funding from Congress to assist us in dealing with this challenge at this time.
The resources, though, that you laid out at the top, specifically in El Paso, there's video that was just released by one Republican member of Congress to show that it's really not making a difference. There was one border patrol facility on Friday. He says there are 4,600 migrants in that facility. Its capacity is 1,040. And we're still, Title 42 is still in place they're at 4 times their capacity right now. So is the view that this is working, that those resources are working, that you guys have said are from the work of this president, is that sufficient? Is it working?
I mean, we're asking for $3.5 billion in additional funding to help us, right, with the challenges that we're seeing. So if congressional Republicans are serious about this, serious about dealing with the challenges that we're currently seeing, then they would assist in making sure the men and the women of the DHS has the resources that they need. In the meantime, the Department of Homeland Security is surging resources to the border and have additional robust planning efforts underway. And so, again, we're asking for additional funding. We have surging resources. But if they truly, truly want to assist, instead of doing political ploys like they have been for the past several months, they will, adhere to our funding request that we've put forward.
A little bit to Ed's question, though, this push from the podium to get Republicans to send more resources to the border, a lot of them say that, they hesitate to throw more money at a problem. The Homeland Security Secretary saying that the border is secure, and some of the people who'd have to vote on that bill also don't have a lot of details on what's in it and where that money goes. But all that aside, if you're saying that Republicans aren't doing the work to get this done, and then you have someone like Joe Manchin saying, well, the president has the ability to ask for an extension, he should be asking for an extension because we're at this point where you've got a deadline and a crisis. Is that within the president's authority to do that?
So look, we remained under a court order to lift Title 42. That is a court order. That is a court order that is telling us to lift Title 42, and we're going to comply because we follow the rule of law.
But the administration sought to lift
it. But it is a court order.
But that started by you guys.
It was a court order that has been provided to us, and so now we have to comply, and that is we have to comply by December 21st. It is a law that has been put forward.
Don't support lifting
What
Title
I'm saying
42?
is that,
Or-
what I'm saying that it is a court order that has been presented to us that we are going to comply with. So you've asked a couple of questions, and I'm going to answer them if you give me a second. So in the funding request, the $3.5 billion, I've already listed them out, happy to do them again. You scale up, we want to scale up air and ground transportation capabilities to move migrants to processing to less crowded border patrol sectors and quickly remove them if they don't have a legal basis to remain. Set up an additional CBP holding facilities and speed up the processing time so individuals can have their asylum claims heard faster. Hire more than 300 additional agents to join our force of 23,000 agents working to secure the border. 23,000, that is historic. We've not seen that before. And again, that is because of the work that this president has done, giving historic fundings to the Department of Homeland Security. Secure additional technologies and equipment like automated processing system, law enforcement radios, upgraded surveillance and inspection technologies, and more. Increase support for border cities and towns like El Paso. So the $3.5 billion, there is a plan for it. There is a way forward in getting the resources that the men and women of the Department of Homeland Security need to do the work at the border. But what we have been hearing from Republicans and seeing from Republicans in Congress is political ploys. They're not assisting. They're not offering any assistance. Many of them are not. And so we are asking right now, if they are serious about this, they are serious about dealing with the challenges, then they would adhere to our funding request. And I want to be really careful. Again, look, Title 42 is going to be lifted. Yes, it will. But we are going to move to Title 8. The border is not open. And so I want to be very clear about that because we were doing the smuggler's job if we spread misinformation. And so, again, just want to be very clear about that, and so I'm going to move on.